Amy Sherald cancels Smithsonian show. Controversy over trans portrait. In a bold move that has sent shockwaves through the art world, acclaimed artist Amy Sherald has decided to pull the plug on her highly anticipated exhibition at the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery. This decision comes amidst a heated controversy surrounding one of her works, a striking portrait titled Transforming Liberty 2024. But here's where it gets controversial. The Smithsonian had reservations about including this piece, which features a trans woman with pink hair and a blue gown holding a torch in the exhibition. And this is the part most people miss. Sherald felt that the institution's response was indicative of a broader societal issue regarding the acceptance and visibility of transgender individuals. Sherald's exhibition, Amy Sherald, American Sublime, was set to be the largest and most comprehensive display of her work to date. It was originally organized by the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, the SFMOMA, and was currently on view at the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York. However, the artist's commitment to her principles and the integrity of her work led her to take a stand against what she perceived as censorship and discrimination. In a statement, Sherald expressed her disappointment with the Smithsonian's concerns about the portrait. She stated that, while no single individual was to blame, the institution's apprehension was influenced by the current political climate, which has been hostile towards the trans community. Sherald refused to compromise on the inclusion of Transforming Liberty 2024 in the exhibition, believing that it was an integral part of her artistic vision and a representation of the diverse experiences of African Americans. According to reports, the Smithsonian proposed adding a video component to the exhibition, featuring reactions to the painting. However, Sherald was opposed to this idea, as she felt it would undermine the significance of trans visibility within the American Sublime narrative. This disagreement ultimately led to the cancellation of the exhibition, leaving many art enthusiasts and supporters of Sherald's work disappointed. The Smithsonian, represented by spokesperson Linda St. Thomas, maintained that the video was intended to provide context to the artwork rather than replace it. Despite their disappointment, they expressed their appreciation for Sherald's contributions to the art world and her impactful body of work. The cancellation of the exhibition marks a significant loss for both the Smithsonian and the public, who were eagerly anticipating the opportunity to witness Sherald's bold and colourful portraits, which document the African American experience. Sherald's relationship with the Smithsonian dates back to 2016, when she won the National Portrait Gallery's prestigious Outwin Busheva Portrait Competition. Her iconic portrait of Michelle Obama, commissioned by the Portrait Gallery, further solidified her place in the annals of American art history. With Amy Sherald, American Sublime, she was poised to become the first contemporary black artist to receive a solo exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery, making this cancellation all the more poignant. This incident highlights the ongoing struggle between artistic freedom and institutional constraints, particularly in the context of cultural organizations that receive federal funding. The Smithsonian, like many other institutions, has faced challenges under the current administration, with President Trump attempting to remove the National Portrait Gallery's director, Kim Saget, for her support of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. This situation raises important questions about the role of politics in the arts and the impact it can have on artists and their creative expressions. As the dust settles on this controversy, it remains to be seen how the art world, then the public, will respond. Will this cancellation ignite a larger conversation about the representation of marginalized communities in mainstream art institutions, or will it simply fade into the background as another instance of censorship? One thing is certain, Amy Sherald's unwavering commitment to her artistic vision and the fight for equality will continue to inspire and challenge us all. Artist Amy Sherald cancels Smithsonian exhibit over culture of censorship. Full story. Imagine this. A renowned artist known for her powerful and thought-provoking work suddenly cancels a major exhibit. Why? Because her art is deemed too controversial. This is the reality that artist Amy Sherald, famous for her striking portrait of Michelle Obama, is currently facing. Sherald has pulled her upcoming exhibit American Sublime from the Smithsonian, citing a disturbing culture of censorship. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about one painting. It's about the broader implications for artistic freedom and the representation of marginalized communities. Let's dive in. Amy Sherald, the celebrated artist behind the iconic portrait of Michelle Obama at the National Portrait Gallery, made a significant announcement on a Friday morning. She confirmed to ABC News that she had decided to cancel her forthcoming exhibit at the Smithsonian. The exhibit, titled American Sublime, was set to showcase her unique perspective on American culture and identity. But here's where it gets controversial. The cancellation came after the gallery expressed concerns about one of her paintings, a depiction of a trans Statue of Liberty. In her statement to ABC News, Sherald revealed that the gallery had engaged in discussions about potentially removing this particular painting. She attributed this decision to a culture of censorship that permeates the institution. While no single person is to blame, it's clear that institutional fear shaped by a broader climate of political hostility toward trans life played a role, Sherald explained. She emphasized that her painting was created to honor and represent individuals whose humanity has been politicized and overlooked. I cannot in good conscience comply with a culture of censorship, especially when it targets vulnerable communities, she asserted. The Smithsonian has not yet responded to ABC News' request for comment, but it appears that Sherald's exhibit has been removed from their website. Currently, American Sublime is on display at the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York City, where it will remain until August 10th. The exhibit was originally scheduled to travel to the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery in Washington, D.C., with a planned opening on September the 19th and a run through February 22nd, 2026. This development comes on the heels of a tumultuous period for the Smithsonian. Last month, the institution reaffirmed its autonomy from external influences in a June 9th statement. This statement was issued in response to President Trump's announcement that he had fired National Portrait Gallery head Kim Saget, labeling her a highly partisan person. Saget resigned on June the 13th. Adding fuel to the fire, Trump signed an executive order in March, placing Vice President J.D. Vance in charge of overseeing efforts to remove improper ideology from all areas of the Smithsonian. The order also targeted funding for programs that promote divisive narratives and improper ideology. Sherald's decision to cancel her exhibit raises important questions about artistic freedom and the role of institutions in shaping public discourse. Can art truly be free if it is subject to the whims of political and institutional censorship? And what does this mean for artists who seek to challenge the status quo and give voice to the marginalized? These are questions that demand our attention and reflection. As we consider the implications of Sherald's cancellation, it's worth pondering. How do we strike a balance between artistic expression and institutional responsibility? Should museums and galleries be held accountable for the messages they convey, or should they be bastions of free expression? And perhaps most importantly, how can we ensure that the voices of vulnerable communities are heard and respected in the face of censorship and political hostility? These are not easy questions, but they are essential ones. We invite you to share your thoughts and engage in a thoughtful discussion in the comments below. Let's explore these issues together and work towards a more inclusive and respectful artistic community.